Hi, my name's Bridgette Mongeon. I am the admin of Houston Women Hiking, and I'm also the author of a new book that just came out in February called One Foot in Front of the Other: Art, Hiking, and Healing. And I'm so glad to have one of our members here today, Katina Collins. Thank you for coming, Katina.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to take some time to meet with some of the people that over the years since Houston Women Hiking started had a profound influence on me. And you are one of those people.
Oh, what an honor. And you influenced me. So how could that be? Thank you.
And I
We're
mentioned Katina, it's funny because I don't mention many people by name, but I think I mentioned you by name twice. And a third time where you really, your appearance, although I don't mention you, has really driven me. And I couldn't find it to read it, but it kind of went something like this. You and I were hiking. I think it was one of your first hikes in the back trails of Memorial Park. Do you remember?
Memorial Park. I do remember that day.
And you were behind me. And for those people who don't know, I've developed lung disease. And after I started this group, and so I hike with oxygen when I'm hiking in the back trail. So I was leading the hike with my hiking poles and with my oxygen, and you were right behind me.
Right behind you.
And do you remember any of your comments?
The one thing I remember was having a hard time keeping up with you. And I'm like, she got oxygen and I don't have anything. And I'm having a hard time keeping up because you were moving at such a great pace with your oxygen tank and your hiking poles. And here I am thinking I'm young and vibrant and still couldn't keep up. That right there, I think, was a pivotal moment for me because I thought, she has oxygen. And, she needs fresh air, and my lungs are great. Why am I struggling? It really pushed me to be more intentional about my health and to get out there and hike more because I was like, if she can do it, I know I can do it. So I remember that day.
And it is so funny because I do remember your comments and they were very similar and you were right behind me and I'm thinking, wow, okay, I am doing a good job. And here's the thing. The very next day, or like within a few days, I did the same hike. You weren't behind me saying that. And the hike was harder for me.
Wow.
Your comments of look at how she's doing and whatever made my hike easier for me than it
Wow.
did on another day. And that was really profound for me because I have to think, how do we influence those people that we don't even know we're influencing
That's amazing.
by our words?
Yes.
How are we encouraging people by our words and we don't even know that we're doing it?
I don't think we realize how powerful our words of encouragement are. By telling somebody they're doing a great job, letting somebody know it's nothing wrong with letting people know that you're motivated by them. And sometimes that gives people strength to keep going on just by you saying that. My son has a record, a CD that he made many, many years ago. And some of the lyrics in the song says, I know a woman that's phenomenal. That's my mama. And I remember when last year when I was hiking Guadalupe Peak and it got hard and I wanted to quit. Honestly, I wanted to quit. But in my mind, I kept hearing the words, I know a woman that's phenomenal. That's my mama. And believe it or not, that song got me to the peak of Guadalupe. So we don't realize how something simple like a statement, I can't believe she's hiking like this, or look at her, she's doing great with oxygen. We don't realize the power of encouragement that our words have.
And I think for me, that is why Houston Women Hiking is so important because I think that it is women helping other women.
Mhm.
And after starting it and was within a year, I was diagnosed with a lung disease and then just given 2 years to live. And so I just kept trying to hike. And once I got the oxygen concentrator, I just kept trying to hike with the oxygen concentrator. And everybody's positive words and your encouragement and everybody stepping, because it's really, really hard when you have a physical ailment or you feel like you are less than to step out and do something. It's just really, really hard. And when you think, okay, now I'm going to lead a hike, But when you've got all these women behind you that are there for the exact same reason, they just want to put one foot in front of the other. They just want to have some exercise. And they understand this hike leader is on oxygen. So we're going to go at her pace. It's going to be fine. I feel the same way with my kids. When I hike with my kids, they slow it down to
Yeah.
be with me. And that is so powerful. Just so powerful.
That's actually how I got here. Someone encouraged me to hike. The doctor had given me a diagnosis and told me within a year or so that I probably would be in a wheelchair because I had fluid leaking into my muscles and it was causing my legs to swell up really, really bad. And when I would walk, I mean, just walking out of my front door to my car, my legs would swell up really, really bad. And I remember talking to my friend who introduced me to Houston Women Hiking Group, which is Frederica. I remember telling Frederica, you know, I have to do something. And to be honest, I was like, I'm going to have surgery. I'm going to do like a weight loss surgery. And she and my other best friend were like, don't do surgery, just start walking. And I'm like walking. And so I started walking. And when I started, I had someone walking with me. But what happens when that person leaves? Because that wasn't her body. It wasn't her sickness. It wasn't really her desire. She was just there because I wanted her to be there. And when she left me, I thought, oh my God, I don't have a support system. I'm going to quit. So my best friend, Deborah would talk to me. I would have my AirPods in while I was just walking around the neighborhood, and she would talk to me for an hour every day, every morning while she was driving to work. I would walk while she was driving to work to motivate me to keep going. And we would talk, but I would be in so much pain. And so then when I was telling Frederica, she said, hey, I'm a part of a group called Houston Women Hiking Group. Come and join me. And I'm like, girl, I don't know about no hiking, you know that story. I was like, I didn't grow up with that. And so she kind of encouraged me to come along. And she said, I'll start off with you. And she took me to Bray's Bayou, White Oak Bayou is the first official hike that I actually did under the umbrella of Houston Women Hiking Group, which is where she took me. And I got out there and I thought, wow, this is so amazing. And so then she invited me on the hike that you were leading. That was the next hike I went
Oh,
on,
that was
which was
second hike.
that was my second hike, which was the hike that you were leading. And I thought, you know what? This is pretty cool because, growing up, my dad was a fisherman. We never went camping. We never went hiking. So that wasn't something that I was accustomed to. So here I am, this 49-year-old woman, now deciding that I'm going to start hiking. And I think just that one day out there at Memorial Park, it really changed my life, right? And it made me start getting out there and, looking at the events and going to some of the hiking events. And from there, I remember saying, I think I'm going to lead a hike. No, let me back up. Then I went on a hike to Lake Houston with Catherine. And
Oh,
that was a very difficult hike because it was hot that day. But even though it was hot and we had a couple of challenges, it did not discourage me because the women were so encouraging. And, you were bonding and you were talking and you were finding out that, we're different, but we're so similar. I felt like I was a part of something that I actually belong to, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I felt like, okay, this is new to me, but they make me feel like I belong here. I became somebody. I was, a person out there with something in common, which was hiking. And so from there, I remember telling Frederica, I think I'm ready to lead a hike. And she's laughing because she's like, not the person who don't want to hike. And from there, Bridgette, it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey.
I'm so excited. So you decided to become a hike leader, and well, here let me for those people who are listening, the cool part about becoming a hike leader is you can do whatever you want. You can
Yeah.
hike at whatever pace you want. You can go fast, you could go slow, you can go through water, you could do whatever you want because you're the hike leader.
And the thing for me is I tailor made my hikes to fit my personality. So, and those who have similar personalities, they come along, because one of the things I think we have to realize, everything is just not for everybody, and every hike is not for everybody. But
No.
what I love about Houston Women Hiking Group is that there's a hike for everybody. If you want to go kayak and hike, if you want to ride a bike and hike, if you just want to hike and hike, there's something for everybody in the group. The pace, the different paces, our desires. There are so many different hikes, and there's really not an excuse for anyone not to feel a part of whatever is going on.
Right. And the funny thing is that the more you hike, the stronger you get.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you were getting stronger and more fit,
Right.
correct?
So what turned out to be for good health ended up giving me great health, because from hiking, many may not know, I started off on like 3 blood pressure medications. I was on medicine for cholesterol. I was having this swelling. As of today, I'm on nothing. I'm
Wow.
on no medication. Um, all because I started caring for my body with hiking. So what turned out to be for physical exercise actually ended up being a hobby.
And when you say you hike for your personality, you tell people what that means.
So I love to dance. I love to dance. So I started doing these hikes called Dance Your Hike Off. So we would go out there, we would hiking somewhere in the middle of the woods. Maybe I would bust out with a speaker and everybody just start dancing. And after the dance is over with, we go back to hiking, because I love to dance. So I tailor made it for me. And watch this, I found people who were just like me, people who love to dance and people who love to dance their hike off. And then it became a thing. We're going to hike with Katina because we know we're going to dance. And it became a thing. We're going with Katina because there's going to be a party in the woods. So I
Right.
tailor made it for me. And I found others who were just as crazy and like to have fun like I do.
So what has being a hike leader, what has it meant to you? What is it meant for you to be a hike leader?
To me, it means it's something that I'm very passionate about, bringing women together in a positive manner. Um, in my church, I lead a women's group, and I'm really big on women unity. I'm really big on women can get along. I'm really big on you have a community, you have a village. I'm really big on there's somebody for everybody. And so seeing women who normally wouldn't hang together, who don't know each other, we're not out there talking politics, we're not talking religion, we're just talking about life and hiking, right? And so nobody's in their feelings. So what it's meant to me was helping women to find their community. I read a book some months ago, and it talks about find your people in unexpected places. I never would have thought I'd find my people in the woods. When I come here and I tell my family, when I get with the hiking group, I belong here. These are my people. They love what I love. We don't have any issues. Nobody's fussing or mad or complaining. We're out there hiking and having a good time, and we're helping one another. Okay, there's a hill. Give me your hand. Let me help you climb up. Oh, she fell down. Everybody stop. Let's go ahead and wipe off her boo-boo. You don't have enough water? Here, I got an extra bottle of water. It's a community of women loving on each other and helping each other do something that we probably would have never done on our own.
Right. And I think that was the important element. And that's why when the one foot in front of the other in the title, the idea that hiking is related throughout this whole book. It's my memoir, but it's hiking is related. And that,
Yes.
and that, that metaphorically reaching down and helping another woman up a hill,
Yes.
there's there's more than just reaching down in a real hill and helping
Yes.
someone up.
This is
And I
real life.
it's real life. And I see it over and over and over again. And the one comment I hear the most from people is, I have found my tribe.
I found my tribe. Yes.
I found my
Um,
tribe.
I know Houston women do a lot of camping events, and I that was not my thing, right? That was not my thing. I haven't had the opportunity to go to one of the events, but I do have someone within the group who said, if you want to try it, I'll go with you. And I met her in the Houston Women Hiking Group, which was Marlene. I met Marlene in Houston Women Hiking, and she and I went to Martin Dyes one weekend. And I didn't do the outside camping, I did the sheltered, but it
Right.
was my first time. But it was so amazing because she walked that journey with me. I'm gonna try not to cry. She made me feel so comfortable. And watch this. I even encountered a snake, and I was just like, if y'all know, I was like, if I ever see a snake, that's the end of my hiking. But we were hiking, and the snake was there. She's like, I could see no snake. But I had became so one with nature, and I was so comfortable that it did not bother me. While we were walking, I asked myself this question: Katina, who taught you to be afraid? Who taught you fear?
It's funny that you should mention that because that's the other area of my book. And you
Yeah.
must have just gone for their camping trip and posted that
Yeah.
on Facebook or
Yeah. I
something.
made a video. Who taught you to be afraid? Yeah.
And because I was writing about what I call my wise woman. I have two persons inside of me. Yes, a split personality. My wise woman inside me, my me counselor, my wise woman really can like help me figure it out and know that my fears are not necessarily justified.
Right.
And so, in the chapter about the wise woman and talking about how we do that, I wrote this. Katina from Houston Women Hiking recently posted that when we are kids, we're fearless.
We're fearless.
And we are also sometimes afraid when we are grown up. And she asked in a social media post, who taught you how to be
Right.
afraid?
Who
She
taught you?
discovered she based her fear on what other people taught her to fear. She did this post after her first camping trip.
Yeah.
She unlearned fear, pushed herself, and realized she didn't have to be afraid.
Don't have to be
Respect
afraid.
nature, nature will respect you. Don't live in
That's
a
it.
box because sometimes someone taught you to be afraid. Sometimes we
Yeah.
let the media, movies, and others increase our fear. It gets into our subconscious. Break past those fears that we have ingrained in our subconscious. If you are unsure how they got there, work it out with your wise one me counselor. So yeah, that your camping trip influenced me. I wrote you about
Yes.
you again in the book. So yes, who taught you how to be afraid?
Those places is where they live. So you respect them and they will respect you. And that's what I taught myself. That's what I reminded of myself of when I was out there that weekend. Respect their territory and they don't bother you. As a matter of fact, we don't realize they're more afraid of us than we are of it.
Right, right.
We make it become aggressive. So I that weekend I unlearned fear and I'm able to go by myself or with the group. But before I wouldn't go without a group. I wouldn't go out. Now it's me and my dog. We go out there. I have a good time. I'm fortunate to have Lake Houston Wilderness in my backyard. Pretty much, I'm 9 minutes away from Lake Houston Wilderness, and so there was a time when I would not go out there by myself. Now me and my little dog or both of my dogs, we go out there because I unlearned fear. We weren't created to be afraid. We were created to live life and live it
Right.
abundantly and to live it free.
And I think that's the other reason why I like Houston Women Hiking. It's because the women are so willing to walk you through whatever.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't know how to camp, that's okay. Come to the all women's camping trip. We will help you figure it out. You don't know how to pitch your tent? We'll help you pitch your tent.
I've had many one-on-one hikes. If I say, "Hey, I want to go here, but I don't want to go by myself." If you don't open up your mouth, nobody will know what you need. And I've had women that, have become I call them my hiking sisters. I have women that became my hiking sisters and I have women that we just hiked and we went on. Just me and that person because it was something that I wanted to experience or something that they wanted to experience. And that's what I love. No one looks down on you. No one makes you feel bad. It's like, hey, we are a big hiking family. Let's get in there. Let's have a good time. I look at some of the videos and the posts of the camp and I'm thinking, I have to free up my time because y'all have the most amazing time. And I'm laughing at the rain dances and the s'mores and all the things that are going on. That's inspiring to somebody like me, who was not a nature chick before I joined Houston Women Hiking.
And the Houston Women Hiking all women camping trips, I call them a sacred experience, and they
Yes.
really are. And
Yeah.
and even you talk about you women being around a fire and telling stories. That's like generational. That's been like
Yeah.
forever and ever. That's what we used to do. Cultural. We used
Mhm.
to tell stories around the
Right.
fire and
Right.
and relate our feelings to one another. And so I absolutely love the all women's camping trip. We also have an all family camping trip, totally different. A lot of
Yeah.
women that go to the all women and then go to the all family go, but I really wanted to just be with the women, and but my family
Yeah.
was here. But and
Yeah.
so it's they're both have their own purpose. The other place that I talked about you in the book was I've never given anybody a trail name until you.
Tiny dancer.
Tiny Dancer. And for those people who don't know, a trail name is usually given to you. You could decide that you want it or not. And I said, you know, this is what I think your trail name should be, and you've accepted it. So
I accepted it.
there you are, Tiny Dancer.
Yes.
I'm so excited that we had this conversation. And you know, when I wrote the book, I wanted to tell people how the group started, and I wanted to infuse it with the energy like you have, you know, because there are so many incredible women. There was two things which I tell in the story that caused me to start the Houston Women Hiking. I was like you, I wanted to go in the woods, was a little bit nervous about going alone, but not so much. And so as I did it, I'd text my daughter and say, I'm going in, I'll be out in an hour. And then one day she texted me back. She said, oh, great. I have your GPS. I know where to send them to find your body. Mom, start a group. And I didn't even know what a Facebook group was. So it was her by her prompting. And the other thing was I was in New Mexico at a foundry, and I met a woman who had 8 hiking friends. I want 8 hiking friends.
You know what? Let me tell you. Um, so oh my God. I've been on many hikes, Inks Lake, Guadalupe. I'm trying to think of the parks that are out there towards Inks Lake because we did a weekend for my birthday. For my birthday one year, I did a weekend of hiking. That was so unbelievable. My family still laughs at that. But when we were doing Guadalupe last year, we got to the park. Now you know what Guadalupe is, right? That's a 9-hour drive from Houston. And
Hmm.
so we got to the park. We're getting our gear, and she says, "Oh my God, there's Katina!" And I'm like, who knows me here? I don't know anybody here. And she says, I see you all over Houston Women Hiking Group. Oh my God, you're here. So, you know, you become a familiar face and you become a family with people that you don't know are a part of your family.
Yes.
And even with that, it encourages you because I think she said she didn't hike it that day, but seeing the women out there inspired her to go back and hike it. And that's what we're there to do. You know, you saw that group of women. We came to your group and we now have our group of women. And it's just a ripple effect. It just keeps going on and on because I love it when I see the different groups of women who are now bonding and they're doing their own camping thing together and they're doing their hiking thing together. But what's so amazing, it all started with you.
Oh
It
gosh.
all started because you wanted to go in the woods. It all
I
started
was.
because you saw that lady with those 8 friends and you inspired us. And, you know,
Oh, thanks. Well, you know, I went from she has 8 women. I have 18,500
wow,
women that I
wow,
can pick from. No, and the thing is that you don't ever have to worry about you want to go for a hike and you just go, okay, I just don't want to do it alone. You post it within a couple hours. Someone's on the line going, let's do it.
yeah,
I'm
let's do
game.
it. I'm game.
So, so yeah, it's 18,500 women. It blows me away.
Amazing,
It blows me
amazing,
away. So,
amazing.
and you're a great part of that. Thank you for
Thank you.
being an inspiration. Thank you for encouraging me and
Thank you.
being a hike leader. I
Thank you.
can't thank you enough for being a hike leader. It's difficult work because you have to commit, but it's also a good way to continue to stay healthy.
Yes.
Because if you're committing to leading hikes on a regular basis, then you know there's accountability. You're
Thank you
there.
for giving us a platform. Thank you for giving us a foundation. And like I say, although there may be 18,500 women, it all started with one woman who had a desire to go into the woods. And as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, we always say each one reach one. You reach 18,500. just because you executed a plan. You had a vision, and you didn't just sit on it. And a lot of times I think as women we have visions and we allow fear to overcome us and we don't do it. But you weren't afraid. You took a leap of faith, and look at us now. Look at me. I mean, besides trying to get through the little situation I have right now, which I'll be back soon. Besides that, I have done things I never thought. And now, watch this, Bridget. Every time I go on vacation, I'm thinking, what mountain am I gonna hike? What's in the area? My son lives in San Diego, and every time I go to San Diego, I go hike a different mountain. I never would have thought of doing that. I went
Oh,
on vacation to Greece, and I was like, okay, what mountains are there to hike in Greece? I did this because I became a part of Houston Women Hiking. In the past, prior to 4 years ago, hiking was not on my agenda. It was not something that I even desired to do. And now I feel like I can't live without it. Like it's a part of my life. And if I can say anything to someone who's watching this, don't let anybody tell you because you're not climbing a mountain, you're not taking a hike. You are hiking. Anytime you move over 1 mile, you are taking a hike. And so if someone tells you that you're not hiking, you tell them to take a hike because you are hiking.
I love it. I love it. And remember, the more you do it, the stronger you're going to get. And before
Yeah.
you know it, you could be hiking a mountain. I don't hike my mountains because I can't because of the oxygen. So,
I
but
challenge
at the same,
myself. I challenge myself. I'm always competing with Katina. I don't compete with nobody else. I always compete with Katina. If I see a mountain and I'm telling my husband, I said, I think I can do that. And he was like, oh my God, this don't look like this gonna work out well. And before I know it, we're hiking. And I laughed because I was in Hollywood, California, no hiking gear, blue jeans and Nike tennis shoes. But guess what? I hiked that mountain.
I
Because
love it.
it's a part of me now. It's like it's a lifestyle. I'm gonna say that hiking is my lifestyle. It's something that I've incorporated. It's something that I love. It gives me I like this mind, body, and spirit. It helps me it helps mentally. It's my cheap therapy. It is my cheap therapy. When I'm having a mental moment, take a hike. When I'm feeling down, take a hike. When I need an answer, take a hike. It regulates my mind. It's more than just physical exercise. It helps you mentally. I like a good therapist, but I also like a good hike.
And all of that is proven with
Yes,
science that it
yes,
it helps. Um,
yes.
thank you so much for all you do.
But I want to say to you, thank you for being so awesome. Thank you for your endurance and your resilience. Thank you for pressing because I know behind the computer, behind the social media, you're a real person and you have your own issues, but you don't let it stop you from pushing other women. And that's what we need in today's society. Women encouraging women. I love how you stand up for your women in your group. I love how you don't tolerate anything less than the best or celebration. You don't tolerate anything that's going to tear down a woman. I love how you push women to be the best hiker that she could be. I love that you do the mindfulness hikes. Those things are what we need. So, there's so much chaos going on around us. We need positive things. And you, in my opinion, are a major positive influence in today's society. So if someone would say, name someone who influences you to be a better you, I would have to say Bridgette because of Houston Women Hiking. You don't realize that page is amazing. It's some days I just go and I scroll and I smile at seeing everybody hiking and camping and kayaking and, whatever, riding bicycle, whatever they're doing outside of nature. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. Again, the book is One Foot in Front of the Other: Art, Hiking, and Healing. Thanks for inspiring me. Thanks for being a part of the group.
Thank you.
And what can we say? See you in the woods.
See you in the woods.
Thank you for joining us on the Women Stepping Outside YouTube channel. My name is Bridgette Mongeon. We hope you check back for some more interviews from some of our hike leaders and others. If you'd like to find out more about Houston Women Hiking, you can do so on Facebook or on our website. If you'd like to contact me about book club appearances, virtual or in person, please contact me at creativesculpture.com. My book is available in both Kindle and paperback and soon to be audio on Amazon. Thank you. See you in the woods.